Very great, very great.
But yeah, the day after the Master Collection came out, Xbox had a partner preview showcase. And towards
Ooh.
the end, they showed off in engine, Unreal Engine 5, footage of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Oh
And it
yeah.
looks so good. And I don't even got to ask you if you saw the trailer because I showed you the trailer in person at work. I was like, you're watching this trailer right now.
Right now, you sent it to me on Discord and then showed it to me at work.
Yes,
That's
I
how I knew
did.
you were serious about that shit.
It looks so good.
And it does.
Like
It
from
does look
a
really
purely
good.
visual standpoint, because this was just to show off this was mostly to show off Unreal Engine 5, but also to
Right.
show us a little bit of the game. And honestly, it got rid of any worries that I had, if I'm being real.
Real.
They showed the tiniest bit of gameplay of him aiming down sights and sneaking around, and I think grabbing an enemy. And they showed a lot of the animals, which it's not called Snake Eater for no reason. You eat
Right.
animals. That's
Oh.
a core gameplay element. Like in every other Metal Gear game, you have rations, and rations will restore your health. In Metal Gear
Hmm.
Solid 3, there is no way to just well, there is, but it doesn't. I think you don't get it till way later in the game, or like 2/3 through the game, where you unlock life medicine, which actually you consume it and it increases your health. In this game,
Hmm.
you can't just consume an item that increases your health. You have to eat like rations and animals and different types of food to
Hmm.
increase your stamina, which goes down as you exert yourself. And once your stamina is increased, your health will start to automatically regenerate to a certain point.
Oh.
So you can't just eat something and a chunk of your health like goes up. You have to eat
Right.
something, bring up your stamina, and then watch it slowly tick back up. So if you're in the middle of a fight, if you don't have life medicine, it's hard to recover health. Um,
Ah.
and it's meant to be that way because this is the earliest game in the timeline, despite being a remake of the third game. Um,
Hmm.
so it takes place in the 60s, whereas every other game, the year that they came out, the game took place like several years in the future. Like the first game takes place in 2005, despite the fact it came out in like 96 or 98.
Right. Right.
Um, or I think it was 96. And was it Metal Gear Solid 2 came out in 2001, but it takes place in like 2008 or something like
Hmm.
that. Or yeah, something like that. And Metal Gear Solid 4 takes place in like 2014. So yeah. But this is the one of the few games. Well, Metal Gear Solid 5 also takes place in the past, but Metal Gear Solid 3 was the first one to actually take place in the past rather than in the future, like a lot of the other games do. So it makes sense that the way you restore health isn't as simple as it is in the games that take place in the distant future.
Yeah.
We're not distant, not distant at all. Like 5 years future
Right.
at the time of those games being released. Um, there's also a system in Metal Gear Solid 3 where you have to manually heal your injuries. You
Mm.
have to go into the menu. I'm truly like these elements. I wonder how they're going to implement it and how it's going to specifically how it's going to look. Because in the original game, you have to go into the menu. You have to like select certain items to pull out a bullet, add septic, stitch it, bandage it, and you have to click all the items to do it. But there's like no animation to go along with it, and you have to
Hmm.
like actually pause the game to do it. So I wonder if you're gonna be able to do it like manually or something like that, and or like if
Right.
there's gonna be animations to go along with it.
I hope there's
I don't know.
animations
I
because
feel
that
like
actually sounds pretty cool.
yeah, it's there's a lot of really interesting like survival elements to this game because you're out in like this forest in Russia or
Right.
woodsy like more like a swampy area actually in Russia. That's a very fun locale. It's I just love Metal
Hmm.
Gear. It's so good. Metal Gear Solid 3 is considered the best by most people. It's not my
Ah, I
favorite,
see.
but I still like it a lot. Like even I was about to say even my least favorite, I still like a lot. That's not true. I don't like Metal Gear Solid 5 honestly. Uh, I really don't like Metal Gear Solid 5, but every
That's
other
real.
Metal Gear Solid game I love. I'm excited for this. To me, the worst thing they could do is, and I might have said it before, is that it could be like Twin Snakes. And I like Twin Snakes, but
Mm.
the and not in the sense that something that Twin Snakes does is the cutscenes are more goofy and over top, even for a Metal Gear game than the original.
Right.
Because Twin Snakes is a remake of the very first Metal Gear game that came out in early
Hmm.
2000s. After the second game, not that. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're not gonna. I think the direction of the cutscene specifically, they will do their best to do it exactly like the original game because they know they can't afford to mess this up. Um,
Right.
what I mean is that because it came out after Metal Gear Solid 2 and it was a remake of the first game, naturally they use the gameplay mechanics that were introduced in Metal Gear Solid 2. So
Right.
it's essentially the gameplay mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 2, but in a virtually unchanged map of Metal Gear Solid 1 in terms of level design. Of course, they rebuilt the map, with what at the time was modern technology. But in terms of the way the map was designed, it was the exact same as the first game. But now you have the controls of the second game, which made the game a little too easy because now you have these more advanced abilities that weren't available in the original game. That makes it a breeze to take out enemies and their positioning and the way that they move around. And, just you can aim down sights, but you could not do that in the first game. So it honestly makes it a bit of a cakewalk. To me, that is the worst thing this game could do. It could take Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay, which is great, and put it in pretty much the exact same map, but made with modern tech. But in terms of level design, the same map as the original Metal Gear Solid 3, and even that would still be a pretty damn good game. So to me, if that's the worst thing they can do, and this trailer didn't convince me whether or not they would do that or not. If that's all that they do, because I think that is, like I said, the worst that they could do, because they know they can't mess this up, it would still be good. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I truly did not mean to talk about this game for this long. This was supposed to be much shorter than it is.
You're fine. You're excited. I understand. Listen. With the November 17th, when Mario RPG drops, I won't be able to shut up. Listen, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Listen.
And then Persona comes out in February. Crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Next winter, when all the games that I'm excited about come out, you won't see me at work. I'm gonna just be gone. I'm gonna quit. No, I'm kidding. I don't mean that. For the record, anybody from our job
to play the games.
You're right. Anybody from our job that's listening, that's not true. It's a joke. But yeah, no.
This is your 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
You just clip this out and send it to him.
Yep. It's like, that's one hell of a 2 weeks notice. But yeah.